Hey, now that I have the saddle off the top of this, I wonder whether or not I could just slide this top half of this half nut right out. Yeah, that's easy enough. Oh, that's kind of cool. Look how that works. It's got like almost like a scroll deal there. And lo and behold, look at that. That comes right out. No washers or anything on there. Alright, that camera filled up, so I'm back onto the bloggy. And I just want to show you with a little bit of cleaning. It's cleaned up really nice. How nice these came out. And I could see that the way these are in there, you get a collar over here. If you rotate it to the right angle, there's a set screw in there. And looks like you maybe take that set screw out, and maybe that's how you get these out. I'm not going to take these out. I don't see any reason to. But I also want to show you on this gear here how nice this cleaned up. And now it's obvious that what I was worried about here is nothing more than just the way the gear is made. When they are milling these slots on this gear, they obviously this is where the cutter is coming shallow right here. So just by way of the way it's made, it looks like that. But when it was kind of partially shown with grease, it almost looked like stripped teeth, which I didn't understand why they would even be there, because that's not anywhere where it comes in contact with the rack. But I'm glad to see that that's not damaged in any way. Another little point here is, what you see right here, there's a little piece of felt in here, and then there's another one that actually got kind of dislodged when I was cleaning. I'm just going to try and poke that back in there like that. So these little pieces of felt, these are actually right below, well, this one, if I go upside down here, this one is right below this little tube. So it's one of those little things I was talking about that you unscrew and you squirt oil in there, runs out the tube, drips onto this little felt piece right here, and then keeps this lubricated in here, this bearing surface. Interesting, on this one, I see the filler there, but I see no tube to get to that, so I don't know how that one gets its oil. I'll have to check that out more closely. Alright, and so now I'm just going to flip this over to show you how the front cleaned up. There we go, and so that's cleaning up pretty well. And you can see a lot of the remnants of that that lousy green color that I hate. And I'm thinking that might have been the original color of the lathe. There is, behind that, there's another color, but it's almost a cream color. So I don't know if that's a primer color, and then this is the top color, or whether or not that cream color is the original color, and this gross green is an afterthought. Apparently some of these lathes left the factory with just a primer coat on them, and final paint was considered to be up to the new owner's purview as to what they wanted. I even saw in one thread that there's a gentleman goes by the screen name Hendey man. It's considered to be a authority on sourcing parts and things like that. Anyways, I think he had said that really there's no wrong color for a Hendey. That being said, it won't be hot pink. I had originally picked up a quart of Rust-Oleum oil-based primer, and then I was going to use Rust-Oleum enamel, and there was only a couple of colors that I thought I would like out of the available colors for Rust-Oleum enamel, and there was like a royal blue. Then I did a little bit of digging on the internet to see what other people were using, and apparently the all-surface oil-based enamel by Sherwin-Williams is a popular choice. It's not as expensive as some of the industrial paints, which are going to be better quality, but a lot of people said they had good success with that, and it's not much more money than the Rust-Oleum product. So I'm going to return that primer because I want to use Sherwin-Williams primer and their paint, And the beauty with their paint is that basically they'll tint it to any one of the colors that they have available in their palette, which is huge. So as I stood there in front of that huge array of color chips that they had in the store there, underneath the fluorescent light, thinking about colors for the Hendey, I still thought I'm thinking in the blues, so I got a lot of the blues, and then I got some grays, because I was also thinking about the SIP drill press, and I'm thinking I want, of the two of them, if one of them is going to be gray, I think I'd rather have the drill press gray, and the Hendey maybe be that blue color. I had also seen a really nice green. Somebody else did like a really dark green color that looked good. But this is what I'm looking at right now. I've picked a few things here. Here's to give you an idea of how deep and dark the blue could get. You know, it could be something like that. And I don't think you guys are going to be able to really tell from, you know, differences with the video being taken by the camera and the differences by everybody's screen settings on their PCs or whatever they're viewing it on. It's going to make a difference. But I am looking at so some of these cards I got, they obviously have colors I'm not considering at all, like Iceberg, for instance. But I did see like this Dignity Blue as a possibility, so that's why I grabbed that card. And if I wanted to get more towards the blue and less deep, we've got J Blue, Blue Plate. Here's a card that's got a couple, that Blue Blood. This Frank Blue on the bottom there is almost a little bit more towards the purple hue. Hyper Blue, a little too bright. Pulsating Blue. Now some of these colors are kind of reminiscent of the blues I would see on some of the earlier woodworking machinery that was coming out of like Woodworkers Warehouse, and you know, like Reliant is one of the brand names that comes to mind. Here's one that's got some grays on it that I kind of was looking at for the drill press. And then again, more grays, grays. So these three right here, I think I'm going to just take these and put them with the SIP. Alright, so I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to police up all of these parts that I've got taken off, and screws, and set them into containers so I can kind of keep track of them, and clean up the area here a little bit so that I can prepare for the next big event, which is going to be looking at the removal of the headstock. Well, I just took the apron out of the parts washer in preparation for letting it dry off so I could put it up on the shelf for storage for now, and a lot of the fluid was catching in the bottom of it, so I had to turn it upside down to drain the fluid out before I took it out of the parts washer, and something fell out. And guess what fell out? I bet you that's the oiling tube that I was wondering why there wasn't a tube running over to that little felt from the opening up front. With this tube knocked out, any oil put into that hole wasn't making it to where it needed to go. So it's going to be real important that I put that back in. That end looks good. This end looks damaged. Or I don't know if it's supposed to be, you know, reduced in size or not. I'll have to compare it to the other one that's in there. But I'm wondering if, you know, something didn't get caught inside there where it shouldn't have been and actually caused this to get popped out. Well, we'll have to examine that at some point. Well, I get those parts all cleaned up, and as soon as they drip dried enough, I'll put them over on the shelf out of the way. So is your diet not working? Want to lose 20 to 30 pounds fast? Try removing this. Seriously though, that's definitely something I want to get off of here. This thing's actually pretty heavy, this plate, this mounting plate for the motor. Not only do I want to get it off for that reason, but also it's going to be in the way as far as cleaning up, getting underneath there to clean it. That swings up a little bit, but it doesn't swing up all the way. Oh, supper's ready. Cheeseburgers tonight.